All right, thank you, Bindya, and thanks one and all for taking time out and joining this session today. Uh, I, I think from the invitation we had set a kind of a pretext, to this particular session, where we are seeing a lot of customers are asking for Splunk, but they also have a certain perception about Splunk, and also they have. Issues in terms of budgets and constraints, and the whole session is all about introducing the new rapid adoption program that Splunk has come out with for making all the partners successful in building net new business for reaching out to customers who want to try Splunk for the first time without making a huge upfront investment, and also for us to build a steady stream of run rate business where we can start picking up deals in ten and $20,000 kind of a range. My name is Tushar Raut. I'm the product manager for Splunk at Redington. I have been managing this business for the last 3 years, and I'm also joined by my colleague Rashida, who is also part of the session, and she will obviously be monitoring the chat window. So if you guys have any questions, I think most of everybody is on mute. So if you have any question, please do post them in the chat window, and we will try and address them during the session or once the session is done. This is a very brief session which will last for about 30 minutes. So without taking much of your time, let's delve in. So what is the purpose of today's call is to debunk the myth that Splunk is too expensive. And I've been hearing this from a lot of partners and customers that compared to the other competitive solutions, Splunk is very expensive. So hopefully towards the end of the session that is going to change, and hopefully we have a lot more to offer to customers at a very competitive price point. We'll briefly go through what Splunk is for some of the partners who are new as well to this session and new to Splunk. We'll just briefly go into what the platform is, and then we will go and learn about what the rapid adoption program is all about, what sort of packages are available for us to sell, who are our potential target customers for this particular session, and why should we choose Splunk Wrap? What are the advantages that Splunk is offering, and what are the value adds that you can pitch to your customers to be able to sell Splunk Wrap? So your machine data is talking, and we see this digital evolution around us growing n-folds, and customers are even in this current situation, everybody is talking about digitization and managing workforce remotely, getting all of the business up and running online, doing things staying away, either by connecting by means of common applications, common platforms, and more data is even more being generated in today's world. And each of this machine data, when I say machine data, it specifically when we think of machine data, we can only think of our traditional IT systems, where we're talking about applications, servers, storages, and things like that. But machine data goes beyond the traditional IT world. And if you see the connected world today, we are talking about things like IoT, where we are seeing sensors being installed across the cities, across organizations, even people for that matter wearing Fitbits is also continuously generating data, giving you vital statistics about your heart rate, your oxygen levels in your blood, your weight, and things and so forth. So the more the growth of these devices, the more machine data is generated, and because of this, there is again a persistent challenge. How do we manage this particular machine data? Some of the examples is, obviously everybody knows application data, the amount of mobile apps that each and every businesses have launched and using that platform to generate revenue. It's very, very evident, and people are hooked onto a lot of these mobile apps now. I don't remember the last time when I went to a bank to do any particular transaction. Nor did I do I remember going to any of the government offices to make payments for my utilities. Nor did I go to any exchange, to send money back home. Everything is happening online. And to support all of this application, there are tons of investment that has been made into the IT infrastructures, and customers are relying on these network and infrastructure devices to support their users and making sure that these infrastructure devices are up and running all the time. Now, each of this, be it your server, be it your storage, be it your switches and routers or access points, each of these are also constantly generating data every time there is a interaction happening or a transaction happening over the network. Apart from this, we also see a burst of security related data. Now, this is not just data coming out of the security devices, but any data that is important to an organization can be security related. So there are a lot of frauds that are happening in a genuine way. Genuine user accesses are being used to compromise systems. The only way we can identify anomalous traffic or anomalous behavior is through understanding the patterns of transaction, understanding the patterns of human behavior, understanding the patterns of systems. And so any data within an organization is considered as a security data, and I'm sure everybody is going to agree with that. Now, apart from this, even customers are generating, billions and billions of, bytes of data. And it can be not just your social media. It's also when it comes to an organization, people are posting on their social media, writing sentiments about the organization's offerings, about their products. They are reviewing things online. It's also important to an organization to understand what is happening at the customer side. What issues are the customers facing? What are the sentiments they're carrying towards the organization? And this is also important for any organization to track and understand, to be able to innovate products, to improve customer service, and so on and so forth. And the last but not the least is the Internet of Things data. Now, if you see, it has also reached our homes where a lot of people I know have moved into a digital connected home where they're able to switch on and switch off lights using the mobile app. Through the sensors that are installed at home, they're able to switch on the AC much before they reach home, so that when they go home, they have a nice cold environment. In that sense, every industry is using sensor data. If you see airline industry, an aircraft that you're seeing on the screen is also constantly generating data about the flight path, about the flight parameters, and anything that is not right. The pilot gets alerted or notified immediately, and then they take an action. So similar to that, every industry is moving to a digital platform where they're improving the manufacturing times, they're improving the quality of the products that they are producing, they're minimizing the defects in those products using the data, and so on and so forth. So these are just some examples of machine data, but if you look around, you will find many such examples around you. With this change, in the landscape, in the connected world, the data has gone beyond anything what the world can imagine. Now, with that, there also comes certain challenges with the data. And one of the common challenges that customers complain is that how do I bring an order to all this chaos? So many devices generating so many different types of data. There's humongous variety, variability, there's volumes of data. How do I bring everything in order even before I start analyzing? How do I collect each and every kind of data that is available within my organization in one single place? And most of the time, the answer that comes to mind is let's build a structure around this machine data, and let's force everything to come into that particular structure. So let's build a database and then force all of this data to come and sit nicely in rows and columns, and then let me perform my analysis. Now you know that this kind of rigid approach is not flexible, it is not scalable, it is not real time, because a lot of data crunching has to be done before analysis can be performed. And with the evolution of the business, there's so many changes that are happening, to any business. And with these changes, you need different perspectives of the same data. Now, to be able to get to a solution like that, every time the customer is forced to follow the same traditional approach of crunching, of extracting, transforming, and loading, which is what we call ETL in data analytics world, before any analysis can be performed. Now, this is the common way most of the data analysis has been done. So why is Splunk, changing their motto? The new vision or the new motto of Splunk is data to everything. Now, turning this data into action is where Splunk comes into picture. Now, first thing we know, or would like to say, that we don't use any sort of database within Splunk, right? Most of the data is currently managed within silos in every organization. The infrastructure team has their own set of data. The application team has their own set of data. The security team has their own set of data. The finance team, the human resource team has their own set of data. Everybody is managing data within silos, and nobody is talking to each other and understanding overall what is happening within an organization. Apart from that, each of the teams, they also buy point solutions. So if I'm buying a set of firewalls from a particular vendor, I get a management or a monitoring solution along with that firewall. Tomorrow, if I buy an IPS solution, I will get a set of application or a monitoring solution along with that. Similarly, every vendor is selling their own monitoring solution along with the product that they're selling. And as an IT, it is difficult for us to look at multiple windows and try to put things together within our head and to understand what is happening really. To avoid that, certain customers also have managed to build data lakes where they put everything into one place and then try and build a certain structure around them, which is again hard and complex to manage. And of course, I've already mentioned the ETL process. This is one of the traditional ways where most of the customers choose, to manage their data. With this given challenge of data management, what Splunk is promising is that with the Splunk platform, which is a platform for machine data analytics, we are able to monitor any sort of data, irrespective of the source. We are able to monitor data going up to milliseconds, and we also have the ability to look at historical data. And also based on the machine learning capabilities, we also have certain predictive capabilities within the Splunk platform. So what we let you do is, first of all, analyze the data, let you act on that data in a very, very simple manner. We let you investigate into issues without having complex codes being written. And we also let you monitor ongoing activities, whether it is from your infrastructure or your security, right? So what do we have as part of Splunk Enterprise Rapid Adoption Packages? So what we have done is the most common use cases that we see today in IT or in security, and these are some of the need of the hour solutions where customers say that I just want Splunk, for storage monitoring. I just want Splunk for network monitoring. I don't want Splunk for, to monitor the entire piece of my infrastructure. Now, to be able to do that, we don't need, to collect everything and around, the organization that is available. We can look at specific solutions which Splunk has to offer and try and solve those immediate pain points of the customer. So as part of the IT use cases, we have about 5 packages that are available, which is around the storage monitoring, network, server monitoring, application monitoring, and web monitoring. Now, this covers most of the immediate pain areas where customers find in the infrastructure space. From the security point of view, we have a basic security monitoring app. We have a package that is targeted for compliance. We have a package that is targeted for insider threat, and also a package targeted for advanced threat detection. Now, this can be purchased as an on-premise solution, or it can be bought as a cloud offering as well. The platform is still the same. The only downside is that customers have to pick up a minimum of 3 packages, and they can buy 3, 4, 5, and above use cases as and when they need at a later stage. So let's see what we have in the IT operations space. We have 5 use cases, as I mentioned before, and we will also look at one of the use case, which is the storage monitoring, and we'll also look at some of the dashboards that are provided by Splunk. So most common use cases within storage is you can see data around log volume trending, I/O latency, disk utilization, and storage speed, I/O utilization by the host. From network, we have wire data for application management, again log volume trending, network utilization. From server point of view, we have a little bit of more use cases that are covered by the package. I think it's also I can share this details in detail after the session is over, but this is just for your eyes only. So most of the use cases that we see here are the common challenges that the customers face. Now, the reason Splunk has decided to bundle this is firstly, the faster deployment. Customers don't have to sit and develop any sort of dashboards or alerts or reports around these particular use cases. Everything has been pre-configured and scripted by Splunk and bundled into a sort of packages. So all customers have to do is, once they buy these packages, install the Splunk the enterprise on any given server and install these packages on top of it, and they can be up and running within a day's time. So here we see a home screen of the Splunk compliance package app. Here is the disk utilization, and here you can also see the trending timelines of how the disks have been used within a storage monitoring environment. And if you're seeing a lot of latency coming in, you can immediately fix those issues even before it starts affecting any sort of application. You can look at all the logs, volume trending by each of the hosts. This can also give you certain indication of the kind of activity that is happening. Of course, because of machine learning, Splunk can understand what is normal and tries to baseline the trends within an environment, and anything that goes above or below the baseline can be a possible deviation or can be something abnormal, which the IT team can immediately look and fix the solution before it starts affecting the users. When it comes to security, we have 4 different packages. One is the basic security monitoring. Second one is on compliance. Third is on insider threat, and the fourth is on advanced threat detection. Now, Splunk, as you all know, is also a leader in the Gartner's Magic Quadrant for SIM, and we have been the leaders for the last 7 years. And one might also question why we have come up with the basic security monitoring. SIM can be a very a big project in itself, and most of the customers who are very mature, who have a large security team, once they buy a SIM, they will need a lot of use cases from the SIM perspective. Now, the Splunk Enterprise Security is that premium package that is offered by Splunk for a customer who wants to buy the complete SIM package. But for a lot of customers who don't want a full-blown SIM, who wants to do just basic security, the idea is to offer the Splunk Security Wrap package, around this. So you can see some of the common use cases where we are able to look at the basic brute force detection, abuse of usernames and passwords, trying to do guessworks, basic malware outbreak, and we can also, I will be showing some dashboards around this in the next screen. Multiple infections on a host and if they have been quarantined or not. Recurring infections on a host, which means there is some program or there is a particular activity that the user is performing where he's incurring this infection. Use login with local credentials, again to see what the users are doing with their admin rights given the privileges. So here you can see a basic dashboard of the brute force detection, and you can see you can separate those users where the IT feels that their usernames and credentials have been compromised, and there have been multiple brute force attacks happening on a particular host, and inform the user or inform the IT admin to immediately reset the username and password for that particular user. You can also see the basic malware outbreak, where you can see if a particular malware is spreading laterally within the organization, and understand the behavior of this malware, how it is spreading, and also go down to the root cause level as to where this malware came into the system, and trace the path all the way down to the root cause. This is another dashboard on endpoint unclean malware detection. This is a view on multiple infections on a particular host. This is just to give an idea of the kind of malwares that the host is getting infected with, and the timeline, just to understand what activities is the host performing, which is causing these infections to come into the system, and trace it back to the root cause, and patch the systems or quarantine the systems as and when needed. Now, apart from this premium app, what a lot of customers are also asking for is, because of everybody working remotely, they are accessing their files and systems using VPNs. A lot of collaboration technologies have been purchased, like Office 365 Teams, Zoom calls, and so on and so forth. A lot of video conferencing solutions also customers are using nowadays, or employees are using nowadays, and customers are looking at ways to monitor the remote connectivity or remote work insights. So Splunk is offering a free app called Splunk Remote Work Insight. So any customer who buys Splunk Wrap, the packages, what they also get is they're not just buying the package, but they're also getting the platform itself. Now, what Splunk platform lets you do is, it also lets you download a host of other free apps that are available on the Splunk base. Right, so you're not just buying a package; you're buying the actual Splunk platform, which is available by Splunk. So this, apart from the free remote work insights, there are thousands of apps available on the Splunk base, which the customers can get access to. So here's a basic view of the VPN activity dashboard that is offered as part of remote work insights. It can also show you the IP addresses from where the user is logging in. It can also show you simultaneous logins happening for a particular user from multiple locations, which can sometimes indicate compromised user credentials. This is a basic view on the Microsoft 365 activities and how users are using the SharePoint, OneDrive, Active Directory, the performance of Exchange over time, the usage of Microsoft Teams over a period of time. This is just to show the productivity and the usage of all the remote working solutions available from Microsoft. So why is Splunk coming up with this particular package? And why is it important for us partners to get the word out to customers? Is you're reducing 90% time to reduce for incident investigation, because most of the use cases are pre-built within the app. Customers don't have to spend much time on rebuilding those particular use cases. All they have to do is get all of the data in and install these packages, and they are up and running from day one. We have seen a lot of impact on the business because of connectivity issues, especially using the remote working inside, especially from the IT infrastructure monitoring perspective, where because of the packages that are available right now, customers are able to proactively monitor the infrastructure and avoid any sort of downtime. So customers have also already seen almost 80 plus percentage of reduction in business impact due to proactive monitoring. 50% lower risk of data breach and ID theft. It's also because of the basic security monitoring app, where most of the user related use cases are pre-developed by Splunk. Right. So the message in a nutshell is that this is the way where customers can start off their journey with Splunk by starting small, and once they feel comfortable, that will be your opportunity to expand those customers for a lot more use cases and getting more data into Splunk. So wherever we are struggling in terms of getting a foot in the door with the customer, you can always ask them to try one of the Splunk wrap packages along with the remote work insights, and also probably talk to them about the free apps that are available on Splunk base. So you're actually trying to maximize a lot of value that you're giving to the customers. And just for your information, these packages start around $11,000 upwards. So custom and $11,000 is for up to 3 use cases. So it's a really good pricing point for everybody to reach out to the customers where they feel they don't have budgets, and help them start off with Splunk in a very small way. So as I said, 2000 plus apps available on Splunk Blaze, and customers also get access to the Splunk community, which is answers.splunk.com, where they can also post questions, regarding additional use cases. The limitation that customers get is they can index up to 25 GB of data with these Splunk Wrap apps. So if you're purchasing 3 packages, the maximum you can index is 25 GB of data. So otherwise, if you are going to buy 25 GB of Splunk Enterprise licenses, I'm sure you know the cost. It is much more higher than what is being offered right now. Right, so it's just a different licensing model. What you're getting is the same industry leading platform. So this is one message you need to pass on to your customers, that they are not compromising on the platform's capability. They can obviously use Splunk at a later stage by adding more data, by adding more use cases, without having to change or upgrade any of the platform that you have already sold to them through Splunk Wrap.
Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this session with us. If you have any more queries or any more doubts, you can always reach out to us. Thank you. Have a nice day.